100. That's the number of tech and financial companies that just signed a letter warning about the next wave of cyber attacks.
And two of the names at the top of that list are OpenAI and Anthropic, the builders warning about the break-ins.
I'm Mila.
I'm Milo, and this is AI Daily.
We'll get to that joint warning, but first, one of those signatories, Anthropic, is pushing its models out of the purely digital world and into the physical one.
And later in the show, we'll cover OpenAI's public report on a security incident at another company, Hugging Face, and what it says about the entire ecosystem.
Anthropic announced it is developing a new standard to help AI agents operate physical machinery.
Which is a very neutral way of saying they're trying to build a universal language for AIs to talk to hardware. Think of it like a USB standard, but for actions. Instead of just transferring data, the AI can send a standardized command to a piece of lab equipment, a factory robot, or any other connected machine, and the machine understands what to do.
The goal here is to get past the current bottleneck, where every new machine requires a custom software interface for an AI to control it. A common standard could mean an AI trained to operate a robotic arm in one factory could, in theory, operate a different robotic arm in another factory with minimal new programming.
And that's the jump. It moves large language models from being conversational interfaces or code generators into being supervisors for physical tasks. Anthropic is framing this as a way to accelerate scientific research, automating lab experiments, for example.
But the implications go much further. It's the difference between an AI that can describe how to perform a task and an AI that can actually perform it. The open question is how you build safety and verification into a standard like that from day one. It's one thing for an AI to have a software bug. It's another for it to have a software bug while operating a piece of heavy machinery.
Right. The proposal is about creating a shared instruction set. But who is liable when a machine follows a flawed instruction? The model provider, the machine manufacturer, the end user? That's not defined yet.
So the AI is learning to use its hands. And at the same time, the industry is getting more vocal about what happens when those hands aren't friendly.
Exactly. On the same day Anthropic is talking about physical agents, it joined OpenAI and over 100 other organizations to warn about AI-enabled hacks.
This was a joint letter organized by the Atlantic Council, urging businesses and governments to strengthen their cyber defenses against attacks that use sophisticated AI models. The core message is that as AI capabilities improve, so does their ability to be used for malicious purposes, like finding software vulnerabilities, generating phishing emails, or creating deepfakes for social engineering.
The letter is interesting not for what it says. Everyone knows this is a risk, but for who is saying it. Having the frontier model labs co-sign a warning about their own technology is a significant move. They are essentially telling their customers and the government that the tools are getting powerful enough to be a new class of threat and that current defenses may not be adequate.
The letter calls for specific actions, like increasing investment in AI-based defense systems and promoting information sharing about new threats. It's a preemptive warning shot.
I reviewed the signatory list. It's a mix of AI labs, cybersecurity firms, and major financial institutions. They're signaling that this is no longer a theoretical problem. I checked the logic of the recommendations. The core principle is that it will take an AI to fight an AI.
Which leads directly to the question of securing the AI itself. If the models are both the weapon and the shield, then the security of the model becomes paramount.
And that brings us to our third story, OpenAI's public findings on a security incident at Hugging Face.
This is an unusual one. It's not a story about a new model, but a post-mortem. OpenAI published a report detailing its investigation into the Hugging Face incident, where user secrets and tokens were exposed.
And to be clear, this was a Hugging Face incident, but OpenAI was involved because some of the exposed secrets were API keys for its models. The report is essentially OpenAI explaining what it found and what it's doing to harden the ecosystem on its end.
What did they find?
The report outlines a few key areas for improvement. First is strengthening the security of the AI models themselves, making them more resistant to misuse even if they are accessed with a stolen key. Second is better monitoring, detecting unusual activity associated with an API key that might suggest it's been compromised.
So if a key that's normally used for a chatbot suddenly starts making a million requests for a different purpose, the system flags it.
Exactly. And third is what they call alignment, which in this context means ensuring that the models are designed to refuse harmful or malicious requests, even when prompted by a legitimate-looking user.
It feels like a maturity moment for the industry. One major player is publicly analyzing a security lapse at another and sharing the lessons with everyone. It treats the AI supply chain as a shared responsibility.
Right. The implicit message is that the ecosystem is so interconnected that a vulnerability in one place puts everyone at risk. They can't just secure their own labs. They have to think about the security posture of their biggest partners and platforms.
Also in AI today,
Nvidia delivered another massive AI-driven forecast, which has lifted markets and fueled bets that the AI boom is still accelerating.
so the demand for the hardware that powers all these models is not slowing down.
Not by a long shot. The numbers suggest the build-out of AI infrastructure is still in its early phases.
We start the day with Anthropic building a standard for AI to operate in the physical world.
And we end it with the entire industry warning about digital threats and reinforcing the security of the digital supply chain.
The capability curve and the responsibility curve are rising in parallel.
The open question is whether they're rising at the same speed.